So I created the clones. So I need to do some changes here just to be sure I'm on the right spot. So this one is fine. We said because there is no graphical interface, we don't touch anything here. We don't need it in the system. For me, 2 GB are perfect. If you want, you could decrease even to 1 GB if you have trouble having the, you know, uh, having working this fast. But if you could keep to 2 GB would be fine. Okay. Optical hard disk is enough. The display, we don't need to get here to the end because once again it's not graphical interface. Storage, I don't need anything here, it's already installed. On the network, that's the important part. So let's check shared folder, the same. I don't do anything here because it's a graphical. I'll say okay. Let's check our host network manager. So I have the adapter 5, which has the 192.168.50, and I have adapter 4, which is 150. And if you remember, I use these adapters here. So let's open it again and go to the network. On the adapter 2, that's a bridge adapter because that is my one. In the adapter 1, I have the adapter 5. Remember, it was 3 before, but it didn't work, so I updated it to 5. So 192.168.50.0, that's the network which I'm using here. Adapter 3, 192.168.150 0 network, which is the host Ethernet adapter 4, which I created before. So everything is fine here. The only thing I just gonna call this one firewall 1, or actually shorter, FW1. Okay, that's how I'm gonna call it. So let's start uh, the appliance here. So let me just okay, so let's move this guy here to the bottom. So I'm going to open the one of the advantages of the, if you remember, of the host-only adapters. I could access from my real computer right away. That's why we're using it. So I'll say 50 to 54. That would be my, well, I need to start it first, of course. I need to start this first. So I'm going to start it. Okay. So I see my recent IP address. Okay. So what I would do, just to open the schema as well, just to remind you guys where we are. So at the moment, what I'm seeing the IP address over here. Okay, that's my first network. I'm gonna see it over here. So let's proceed. I'll open and I'll navigate there. So here it is 254. I'll log in. I'll very briefly to double check if everything is okay on the interface. I have DMZ LAN 1 that's configured. On the system, actually, I need to see the name of the computer. So the other thing which I want to check is actually the interfaces and the services here. If you remember, if the DHCP is okay, so let's check the DHCP here. This one is okay and it's working. If you see, this one is okay too. So let's start implementing the other ones. So let's start starting one by one the server and the CentOS 7, which we would need there. So here it is, the CentOS 7. We'll start it. We're waiting the other to start. That's actually need to go to the system and general, and here where you could change the general settings here. So you could add the DNS servers as well, which would something we're gonna do after this. You could use different gateways to get there and so on and so forth. So this one, if you remember, we just call it FW1. Okay, that's the difference here. I won't use anything else. I'll say save, and it will apply the new name. So when I go to the lobby and the dashboard now, I'm gonna see the name of my firewall has been changed. Okay, so that's the way we do it. Let's see what's going on with our CentOS. It's already logged in. server there. Now before we start the server 2016, indeed I'm gonna remove it now, the cloning. I need just to be sure that I have on the server, I have also the domain controller. Why? Because I'm going to use it a couple of times, more than couple. So I need to be sure that I'm able to actually have cloned either with without active domain or with graphic domain with active domain. So that means I need to do this on my real computer. So I have only one snapshot, as you see. It is the normal computer. So what I would do now, I would create the active domain as well. So I would do the next. I would say like that. I would start this guy, my source machine. Well, if you don't have source, you need to do it 3 or 4 times, as many times we need to do it on the on our project, if you remember. So our project, if you remember, we supposed to have 4 like this. So here is the project. Okay, we have one. Well, we have 2 of them. So well, you could do it manually. It doesn't matter. I'll do it to this one. So my server just started. Let me put my credentials here. So once I'm there, I'm just gonna wait until the server manager comes up, and I will install the the active domain. So what else I could do meanwhile? I will clone this one. I will clone this one again. I'm gonna clone from the snapshot, which it is here at the moment. So I'm gonna come here and I'll choose the link clone, something which I did already, but just wanted to show it to you how it's from the beginning. So I'll say clone, and as you see, well, it's working. Actually, it's able to produce cloning, no problem at all. So here it is. I will come here to this one. I'll change the settings. I will call this server 2. That will be my server 2. And I'll check the other thing in advance. It's bidirectional system. 3 for me, it's okay. For you, even 2,200, I mean, 2 gigabyte will work. For me, I will leave it a little bit, even I'm gonna go a little bit here more. I will do 4,092, 4 gigabyte. Okay, I'll do on the network. For now, I'll use the NAT network until I install all the things. Afterwards, I'll choose the whatever I need. Shared folder is there, so I'm ready, and I would start this one too. So to install the addition on it, to install the Active Directory on it. So that's the server too. So here it is. What I'll do here, I'll say add roles and features on this one. You see it's still on NAT. I'll say skip this page, say next. I'll say next. You know how to install Active Domain. You did it many times now, so you will just follow this. Now, since I'm gonna, as soon as I create my active domain, I'm gonna clone this one, and the SID of this will be the same of this one because it's the same server. And as I mentioned, when I have the same SID, if I try to do the sysprep, so to change the SID of one of the computers here, in that case that will be server 2. But if I apply the active domain, I won't be able to do it. So basically what I need to do first when this guy starts, I need to do the sysprep, and then after the reboot and all the things, I need to go and apply the active domain. So that's first thing what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do sysprep on server 2. So it's SID to be different. We're back. I'll say next here. That's my IP address. Everything looks okay. I'll say next. By the way, don't forget you need to check here what's your domain name, sir, right? Before you do all of this. So that's the wise thing to do. First, to check your domain name server. It's supposed to point to itself, and as far as I could see here, it doesn't point to itself. So let me just double check and to change it if we need. So I'll go click change it after settings, and I'm gonna check here what's going on. I'll open this. Say properties. Now remove the IP version 6. If you remember, we don't need it. And as you see, yes, there is no DNS server. Now I'm gonna choose it still to obtain IP address automatically, even though that would be a server, because I will change the IP address obviously when I get to the proper network. At the moment I'm using NAT network, guys, and when I get into my infrastructure, at the moment I'm using NAT network because I need internet yet. Afterwards, I will have internet also, but I need to be sure that when I change here to it will be the proper network, meaning 192.168.50.0 network. So for now, I'm just gonna say here for this server, and I will change this once I clone it. Okay, so say 1, I'll say okay. It would be a DNS server, so it's supposed to point to itself, right? I'll close this. Actually, what I need to do is to disable and enable the network card from the graphical interface. So remember, it's the changes to be applied fast. So right click, disable, and wait a couple of seconds. Right click, enable again, and then I'll start this again. So I'll say refresh here on the top to refresh it, and then I'll start again. Meanwhile, I'll see the other computer is here, so log in there too. Okay, on this one I'll say add roles features, the same thing like before. It's the same IP address, I didn't change it. I will choose here the Active Directory domain services. You know how to do this already. I'll add the features. I would click next after. I will accept everything as default. As well as I will restart if needed. I would say restart if needed. I'll say install them. And the installation will start. If you remember, now we just wait to appear the next stage for the installing of the DNS server. Getting back to the other computer, what we need to do first, since it's a clone of the one which is on our left side, I need to do the sysprep, and you know how to do it. You need to open the file manager and go to the sysprep file there. Do it. I'll go this PC. Then I'll navigate C drive. I'll go obviously Windows, and I'll click somewhere here. I'll start writing sys system 32. I'll click somewhere again and do sys again, and here's the sysprep. I'll right click and be sure that I will start it with administrators. I am administrator, but just in case. And then I will say generalize here. Now I won't start right away because you see my system's still booting. I'm just gonna wait until the system's completely on, and then I will start it. You see now here is moving at the top, at the bottom. That means it's still loading. So I just need this to finish. As soon as it's finished, I will do the sysprep. Okay. I would also open my CentOS server here. I would have logged in. And what I would do here also, let's double check here if you remember. In the settings portion, let's see our guest edition if it's working. Yeah, it's working. So I would what I would do, I would change the name of this guy and I would clone the other one. So all of my infrastructure to start looking as it's supposed to look here. So I would have today two firewalls. I would have two web servers and two domain controllers. That's I'm gonna have all of this. Okay, today. So here it is, just to check if this one is, we don't want the blank, if you remember. And in privacy, we need to stop the screen lock. Okay. And we're pretty much done with this guy. So I could do the cloning. Oh, okay. We need to change the name as well. Don't forget to change the name. So we're gonna call this one. Let's open the terminal and let's check the name. It is www. Okay, and because that's a clone, I need to change to www1. If you remember, that's the name we well, we haven't changed it here. We'll change it after this, but it's supposed to be called. So the command, there are a couple of ways to do it. I would use net2. Be sure you're gonna do it as super user. Then you go to the last option with the keyboard, set system host name, and you're just gonna come here. I'll change the name, and I'll say okay, okay, okay. Actually, I need to do escape here, and I'm done. I need to actually log in, log out, and if I log in again, I would see that my host name has been changed. Here it is. Okay, so this one's done. Let's create the other one. So I'm coming here to my CentOS 7. I would say here I would just right click. I'll say clone. This one will be called www2. It will be link clone. I'll change the MAC address. I'll say clone, and it's done. I'll put it over here too. I'll close the sources. Actually no, I'm not gonna close them yet. I'm not gonna start it yet. I just actually will stop the other one for now, so it will be a little bit faster. And to change the name, so I'm gonna say here. That's one of the ways you could stop it, which is the old way of navigating. This one is already ready, so I would say don't forget the generalize before you do the sysprep, and I'll say okay. So the sysprep to start. If you remember, it will reboot now a couple of times, and it will start kind of the same wizard after this. And I'm gonna come in my virtual box, and I'm gonna now change the name of this one, just to be sure it is properly named. So that will be www1. So that's my web server 1. Okay. Don't forget, we need to do also. What we need to do also is to copy our firewall, right? So we have firewall 1. We just need to do a cloning of the firewall 2 as well, right? So this one will be firewall 2. Link clone, generate new MAC address, and I'll say clone. And indeed, for this one, I would need, guys, also, I cannot use the same network. Here, the adapter 1 and adapter 3, I cannot use the same, so I need to create more. So I need to come files, I will need to come to my host only host network manager, and what I'll need to do is to create 2 more adapters. So create 1 more. Once this adapter is done, I could create the network here. So this one will be, let's say, 60. So number 1 is 50, if you remember, in that case my 5. And number 4 is 150, so this one will be 160. So just to the next one which I'm going to create, here it is. So here it is. I'll do this one, that would be 50, we said. I'll say apply. And this one here we said will be 160. Here it is. Say apply. So they will be similar. On my first network, my LAN, as you see, it's 50. On my second network, my LAN, okay, it didn't change. It's supposed to be 60. I will say apply. So this one is 50, this one is 60. This one here is 150, and this one is 160. Okay, so simple like this. I'll close it, and I will start applying them after this. For now, I'm just gonna stick to the installation process. As you see, this one still okay. This one is done. The other one now is rebooting. So it will reboot several other times. So I'll click here on the first to promote the server to domain controller. I would need to add a new domain controller, and this one will be actually test1 dot housenet dot local. So we need to do differentiation, right? Test1 and test2. For this domain controller, it will be test1, so housenet.local. I would say next. And now I need to put my directory service restore mode password. Normally you choose something different. In my case, I choose the same one. It's a lab environment, so I don't really have problem with this. Everything. And if you remember, all of the things are just next here. We don't really do anything specific. Now that's the NetBIOS name. We're saying next again. When I see that all prerequisites are okay, even though there are some warnings here, I will say install. And now I just need this thing to reboot and to start with the new domain. As you see, the other one is done already, so I could set it up. I would say here Canada. Here it is. I'm not going to change anything else. I'll say next here. I'll confirm, yeah, it's already here. I'm just gonna accept the license. I'll put the password, which will be actually the same password as before. I don't change it. That's good for the labs. And now I'm starting with the new sysprep computer. So this computer now, I could apply the active domain the same way I'm doing on this one. Okay, so here it is. Meanwhile, I'll start this one. And I'll do the active domain on it. I'll create from this one, I'll create another clone. This one will be server 1. We say link clone here, and we choose new address. Here it is, it's done. And actually my infrastructure is ready. So I have my server 2, server 1, my www1, www2, I have my firewall 2 and firewall 1. So I just need to fix the settings on all of them and to install the active domain, and actually that would be for today. So wherever actually I showed it to you up to whenever I showed it to you guys up to the moment here, the installation initial setup and the other thing, you know, it's already done actually. So this one is on. I would do some settings again very fast once it's open, of course. The server 1, I will start it too. So on my second server, I need to go and do the DNS, if you remember. It's crucial. That would be a domain controller, so it's supposed to be in good shape. I changed already my SID, security ID of this computer by implementing the remember the sysprep on it. I used it, so it's different than the first one, which I just cloned. On the second one, I need to be sure that I'll open here and I'll do the similar settings as on the server 1. So once again, I'll repeat the domain controller installation on server 1 since it didn't succeed on the major one. So I was planning to copy the domain controller, but I cannot. So I will repeat it here. So I'll change this one. I open and I'll put as usual. Say okay, okay. Say close, close. And now I'll see if this thing is done. It looks like done. Don't forget you need to. I'll stop for a sec. I need just to disable this for a second and enable it back. I will refresh my server manager too. And once it's done, I'll start writing. I'm gonna try to add a row here as well, the same way as I did on the first one. Hopefully this time it will be okay. That's my IP address. Okay. I'll say next here. I'll say Active Directory Domain Services. You know, I mean, we did this many times. Say next. Say next. Next. I'll say restart when needed. I'll say install. I'll come here again. Sorry for this. Once again, I need to start the installation of the active domain again on the cloning now. The previous one, okay, it shows that it's here. So let's double check it. Let's double check it. Mine has been applied. Let's see. I'll start the roles and features here. Oh, I don't need to do actually this. Let's see the roles and features. They will be shown here actually. I don't need to do anything on this one now. What I'll need to do is to change the name here only to server 1 and to check again the settings, of course. Meanwhile, I would start here I would start the promotion of this one too. I would say this one will be called server 1. This is not the proper domain though. to apply the domain here too, which will be test2.local. Okay, I'll say next. I will repeat the password. Say next. Now we expect the net BIOS name to be test2, as we expected is the correct one, so I'll say next. We'll choose the default, I'll say next here. Let's see the prerequisite. So it seems okay, I'll say install, and I'll wait the same way as the previous one to reboot. I need to change the name after this because after the sysprep, indeed the name now is different. If I come here, if I go to local server here, you're gonna see the name is kind of a creepy, win dash something by default. So I need to change this one to server 2. If you remember, so I'll do some personalization settings just to be sure everything is properly done. I'll check also the settings on the computer. I'll ping again the Google just to be sure everything is working properly before I shut it down and change the network interface cards. I've changed the desktop. I'll check the power settings if everything is okay, and I would start this one too. Then I will just check all the other settings in the server manager, and I will ping finally the Google. Yeah, you see this one on battery, that's fine, but when it's plugged, that's okay. It's supposed to be like this. This one is already joined. And now let's check what's going on here. Just go to the local server. I need the name to check the firewall. Well, the firewall is, if you remember, it appears now in an additional section here, which is for the domain. We need to stop at it. So the name is perfect. It's server 1. It's supposed to be part of the test2.local domain. So that's what we want to see next. The only thing we need to do additionally is to go to domain and to start to Windows Firewall and to stop this domain on. Once again, in real environment, we don't do this. We do it just here, so you guys to be easy to work without any additional troubleshooting. So, but this one always appear. I need to do the same on that side. So you see, I need to say turn off here as well. Okay. So everything looks fine. What I would need just once again to do ns lookup Google. So to be sure that I could access it, and that's the domain controller. Let's check it from this point. Yeah, I need to change it. I'll do it. So I'll do it exactly as it's supposed to be for tomorrow. So I will just shut down this guy now. I don't need it anymore. Everything is okay with it. I'll show you something which we need actually to do before shutting it down, but since I'm gonna change the domain name, you see it's not the proper one, I will show it on the server too now. So what I need to do here is to first of all I need to change again some customization. The thing which you need to do here, you need to do also on the other one. First of all, to check all the settings. You see the name, we need to change it. The domain though is okay. The domain is okay. So what we need to do here is to change the name. First, let's do ns lookup. Excuse me, guys. And I'll say Google. I just need to be sure, yeah, it is the domain control and it's resolved in Google. That's the first thing. Then on the domain, I need to come here and to disable the other, which is just appeared, this one for the firewall. I'll check the other thing just very fast. Everything looks fine. The addresses we're gonna change after this when we add it to the other network. And the last thing, actually, what I need to do before changing the name and shutting down is to come to. Uh, so I would need to find here tools. I need to come to where it says DNS. Indeed, I will pin it to the taskbar too. Sorry, so I need to pin to the taskbar. I'll close the second one, which I just opened. Here it is. And what I need to do here actually is, you see, there are two zones. The forward lookup zone, meaning by name, you will be able to find out the IP address. That's the yellow book, if you remember. Now, I don't have reverse lookup zone, which means the reverse DNS, when you have an IP address to find out the name by you. So I need to create it very easy. Just next. Now, you have two choices. Either to write down right away the reverse lookup zone, but that's a little bit creepy. Or you just write down the first two octets, and it will change for you. Now, I'll put the first octets now. Well, actually, it's better to do it after, when we reboot, because we will change the IP address, if you remember. So I'm gonna shut it down for now. Just we'll change the name first. So I'm gonna call this one server 2. Say OK, and I will be prompted to shut down, of course. Something which I will do. Say close. I will say restart later, and what I would do, I would just shut it down right away. While the firewall 1 is booting again, so I'm going to come here on the server 1. I'll go to the setting, and what I need to change now is the network. So instead of not network, it's supposed to point to my first LAN network. So I need to come here on the host only adapter, and I need to choose indeed adapter for what was the adapter? I don't remember it. So my LAN would be on the firewall 1, would be the first one here when I come to network. Here I'll say set network. It's number 5. So that's what I need on my server. So I'll come here and I'll say network, and it will be host only once again. And I'll choose the number 5. There it is. Okay, I'm done. I don't need to do anything else here. I just need to change the adapter. Here it is. On www1, I need to choose the other one. Let's go to the firewall again, and let's come to the network and go to adapter 3. So it says adapter 4. So that's what I need on this one too. Say settings, network. We'll say here host only adapter, and that's adapter 4. Okay, I'll say okay. And now gradually I'll start, you see this one is already on. I'll start my server, and I will start also the web server. I'll open my firewall from my, from my browser. I need to log in again because I rebooted it. I'll change the name. If it's not changed already, I don't remember. So I'll go system. I'll go settings. I'll go general. And it is called FWL. Well, I need to change the domain, right? So this one will be test1.local, something which I need to change after. So the domain has been changed. Everything else we'll see from the lobby. I'll go to the lobby dashboard, and I'll see from the dashboard here. As you see, everything else is okay. That's the name. And I have DMZ 50, my LAN DMZ 150, and the one is 100.141. So in terms of the firewall, everything was initially supposed to be done. It is done. So let's check now what's going on. Server 1 and the web server. So let's open this one, and let's open the web server here. They're still booting. So let's check first this one. So we'll see insert, and we'll say here also the password. I'll put my password here. What I need here is to be sure that I have the proper IP addresses, I have the proper DNS, and from the server one I'm able to ping the Google. From web server in the beginning, most probably I won't be able to do this. Okay, so let's check. It's very easy. Right click background and you just click on the background. After you see, you could change also how the lockup screen will look. So you come color and you choose something. I'll choose this one. Okay, it's done. What I'll do here, just to double check once again if the power is never, and privacy, that's okay, so it won't bother me anymore. So I need to check some stuff here. IPA will give me the IP address. You see, it doesn't actually, no, it receives it. Here it is, 192.168.150.200. That's my DMZ network. That's fine. That's perfect. So let's check the routing. IPR, which is the default gateway actually, 254 as we expect. If I ping 192.168.150.254, I supposed to be able to actually ping it. Well, I don't have it because my ping actually it's not allowed. We need to allow it. That will be done tomorrow. And the next thing is to check the DNS. The command is cat etc resolve.conf. That's where the resolver is. I see, well, I need to change this thing. That's not good. House net local I need to remove. Test one.local supposed to be. Well, I could do it right away actually, so I could do sudo net2. As you see, the name is okay. Just gonna check the host name. It's fine. No, it's not fine. It's supposed to be test1.local. Here it is. And I need to change. I need to check here also the connection. Well, as you see, it's automatic. We'll leave it for now like this. So everything seems okay here. I don't need to do anything anymore. So just need to do a cancel here. So escape. After I change the domain name, I'll do the same there. So the name is okay. Everything is fine. Here's the name. Also seems okay. Server. Now I'm supposed to have internet here. So if I open my internet on that side, as you see, it seems like that. But if I do an lookup again to google.com, here it is. It's working perfect, even though I'm in the new network. So how I know this? Well, IP config. You're gonna see I'm on the new network. To Google and all of these things. So it's perfect, this one. I'll say okay on this, and I could check it from here, although there is no need at the moment. We saw it from the command line. So this one is perfect. We said I need to do something about the domain. I'll do it after. So tomorrow it will show only test1. Now local server one is fine. So the last thing what I need to do is to come here in internet. I need to change this one. I don't need to. I need to be sure that it is statically assigned. Indeed, I'll do for this one too. So let's do again. Well, we know what is the IP address. So we'll come here. We'll do it graphically, or we could do it net2 as well. I'll click enter connection. I'll say edit here. So I'm moving with the top and with the up and arrow and down arrow key and enter key. So I'll go here with top to the configuration. I'll say manual, and then I'll say show. With the top I'll call add an address, and it will be 192.168, the same address I'll put. 168.150.200. I'll add, well, you could put here like this, so you're gonna put the network mask. Then I would say the gateway 192.168 dot 150.254. I'll go to the DNS server, and that's something interesting what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna point to my my Windows server. Although at the moment I'm not gonna have access, I need to allow something on my firewall. We'll do it tomorrow. 192.168.50.200. Okay, so you see it's pointing to my to my DNS server, my Windows here. And for the search domain, I'm gonna click add here, and I'll put test1.local. I'm gonna go now with the tab key. I will go to the end. Be sure automatically connect and available for all users is chosen. So I'll go to the bottom, and I'll say here OK, and I'm done. Actually, this to take place, I need to do escape, edit connection, activate the connection. I need to go, and I need to deactivate it for a second, and then activated it back. That's the easiest way actually it's to apply. And now I have a static IP address and static DNS. So actually I could check it once again. IP address, IPA, the same thing. IPR, same thing. And if I do cat etc resolve.conf, same thing. Okay, now you see the search it's test1 local. So, and it's pointing to the proper DNS. So everything has been done. Well, we don't have connectivity at the moment, but we'll do it tomorrow when we apply some rules here. For this one, we need to do the same. I'll do it graphically. It's already open actually. I'll do right click. I'll say here I would say here change adapter settings, of course, and I'll click twice on this adapter, go properties. So then I'll click twice on the IP version 4, and I'll get sure that I'm gonna have the 192.168 50 200. Okay, 168, so we need to do here 50 200. Subnet mask will be the okay one. 192.168 50 254. Everything else is fine. I'll say okay. I'll say okay. I'll do close. I'm just gonna disable for a sec, and I'll enable back. And I need to double check once again. I need to double check my NS lookup. And it's working. So now I'm okay. That's all I need to do for line 1, and